Pretty good chat therapy.
Hi, hello, it's Kelly BL Chef. Welcome back to the channel. Oh, my ears are naked. All right, I'm going to put on some earrings and we're going to talk about a burnout syndrome. I'm very excited. Welcome. We do a lot of BL here, some GL here, and sometimes some music. And today, as I've already said, like those. Yeah, we'll go with these. We're going to do burnout syndrome, which I'm November 26th. We have a date. We have an air date. That's the end of the month. Oh my God, I'm excited and terrified at the same time. Okay. Yes, earrings. Yay, I feel better. Okay, so yes, burnout syndrome is on the way. And oh my God, Aishi, had their rollout today. So all of their shows, GMM had 3: Girl Rule, Burnout Syndrome, and Me and Thee. We know Me and Thee has a start date, not this weekend, but next. And now we know Burnout Syndrome has a start date in November 26th. I don't think Girl Rule, that's the third one. So that's the GL, guys. Girl Rule will have JoJo's hand at GL. And to be fair, okay, I want us to be gentle with JoJo on this one. He was a little nervous. He didn't feel like maybe he should be writing GL, the same way we want more queer male writers writing BL. We want more queer female writers writing GL. So he didn't want to take up space, where a queer female writer would be, but it was requested. He has a certain style to what he writes, and a lot of people wanted that brought into the GL space. So, he's doing his best, but that is not his wheelhouse. So I feel like we should be a tiny bit gentle because he's there, he was invited, and he's doing his best. But I also think people wanted something a little edgier, a little meatier. Although that's not to say there isn't edgy, meaty GL. I don't know. I just think there was kind of a clamor for a female version of Only Friends. There was a lot of chatter, a lot of clamor for that. So he took that on, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know how we ended up there because today we're talking about burnout syndrome. Do you know who I love? OffGun. I love OffGun down bad. I love OffGun down bad. So I'm just, anytime they do anything, whether together or separately, I'm there. I'm there. I love their acting. I love what they bring to the game. I love how they've created kind of a life for themselves, a business. They really have figured out this whole thing. And they're also a really good example of what it means to have longevity, to keep pressing and keep. Part of longevity means talent. You really can't keep going if you don't have talent. But they have talent. They get out of the way. They're not jealous or bitter about the new gen. They are supportive, they are nurturing, they are caring. And so they don't get isolated from it, but they play a different role within it. And then as they're doing that, as they're uplifting those that come behind them, they are also continuing to work. You can see Gunn in acting classes consistently. He never stops working on his craft. He takes it so seriously. And then they have their own, business structures that they've built together and apart outside of this work that they do. It's just a really good example of very smart partnership and understanding what it means to be able to exist beyond just the shows that you do. And they also have a clear picture of I think Off has said, he's going to age out. He believes he'll age out. I don't know that he will. They're older actors, but so he's got his future plans in place. They're both very focused on fashion. And so by having that common passion, that can unite them in how they dress and how they Gunn used to just buy clothes to buy clothes, and Off taught him how to buy clothes to be more collectibles. Some of those things are like art pieces, fashion, and Off thinks in that way where and has kind of passed that down to gun. As you can see, I'm fascinated by them and as a business partnership, as a partnership, and as actors. I just think they're the full package. I adore them. Um, I I could talk about them all day, clearly. It's been 5 minutes. I'm so sorry. I'm not, but I am. But what we really want to talk about is burnout syndrome. So let me shift gears. Um, let's just read the synopsis. This is original. I love an original work of art. This is not coming from a book. If you're like, oh, but there's a book. Yes, what GMM has been doing pretty consistently now is they will do an original work and then they will create a book off of that original work because the BL world books still tie in. They still play a really big role in BL because, when it started, it was book to show. And then they started creating relationships with the authors, and the authors were exclusively writing books for GMM to be shows. I don't know if you knew that. And now we've morphed into this thing where people don't want to have to be always trying to modify books to meet the modern day because a lot of these books are dated with some really dated sensibilities that will not work in the modern world. And it used to be, and I still think it is, it's a very fine line you walk with Thai community and the modifications you make with these books. They don't love a ton of modifications, but because they are in the international space, there are modifications that need to happen because international fans are going to be like clocking it, right? We're way more sensitive to some things. So it's this fine line. It is a tightrope. I've watched some of the interviews with some of the writers who talk about what it takes to adapt a book to a series, and there's armchair critics all over. So what has been happening more often, I think, specifically in the GMM space, one of the first ones was Bilkin and PP, and I told Sunset about you. But now moving into this GMM space, you are finding them creating original works. So the original work will exist, and then right after they'll create a book, and the book will come out around the same time as the series, but it was written after. The book was written after the script for the series. So even in this scenario, they may not be the same. But the changes in the book, I think, are hindsight, or they're things you could do in the book that wouldn't have worked on screen. What I think people have to just decouple is book from series. They're never going to be the same. And you're never going to know all the reasons for the choices that people make. And you're going to have big opinions about the choices they make. And they may have been necessary for reasons that have nothing to do with plot. It may have been like, casting or location or just what it takes to film that thing. Or can they flesh this storyline out within the 10 episode arc, like all those things. I am chatty today. I did just start drinking my coffee, so that could have something to do with it. I'm gonna sip my coffee. It's delicious. I'm gonna pause because I came in hot today, y'all. I really love them so much. I don't know if you're feeling that energy coming but as a creative person, they check so many boxes creativity wise. They're like my little art house. I feel like, they just get it. They get it on so many levels. They just, they're so good. I love artistic expression, and they are the embodiment of that separately and together. I'm going to calm down and read the synopsis. Down on his luck, recently graduated artist Jira meets IT guy Peem, who he matches with perfectly when Peem leads him to a man named Ko. Jira ends up taking a strange new job, meeting people as the face of his devious employer. opening a chaotic new chapter in his life as he finds himself caught between his unbearable boss, who lights the fire of his artistic passions, and Peem, his ideal. Whoa. Okay. Oh, we didn't even talk about Do. I knew Do mainly from what is it, the show with Bright and Do and the four guy, I forgot the name of it. Whoa. It was like a big deal show too. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, it's okay. I knew him mainly from that. I really, really enjoyed him in that. But it wasn't till Leap Day that I found out the actor that he was. He was phenomenal. If you haven't watched Leap Day, if you're just a BL girly, I get it. Or boy, or they, them. If you're in the BL space particularly, or the GL space particularly, some people don't like to deviate out of that. But Leap Day is such a quality piece of work. And I super duper encourage you to go watch it. It is stressful. I cried a lot. It is scary. But also so that Pond, Gun, and Do and Pond are phenomenal. Not one weak link, just actors acting. Just is so good. And it filled my heart so much because I know how hard Pond has worked to improve himself. And getting to see him like step into his moment and really like show off what he's learned as an actor outside of his pair was just heartwarming to me. Yeah, and then Do, my God, Do can act. I knew he could act. And I do think personally, really good seasoned actors can lift things up or leave things behind. Lift people up or leave them behind. And when you have somebody like Gunn on set who is just at the top of his game, just I don't think we've seen him any better than he is right now. He's just so good. Everything he touches is phenomenal. He had a choice going into that where he could have just shined and left everyone behind because they're all younger, they're not as seasoned, they're not as skilled. They're just not as skilled as him. But they talked about how on set he took it upon himself to be a mentor to the other actors. And I guarantee you the quality of that series in part was because Gunn took the time to lift up the people around him. And it's also why I like them both so much because Off often talks about mentorship and looking out for the next generation and lifting people up and being a source for people and reaching out to people. So many new people will tell you one of the first people that talked to them was Off. He makes an effort to make sure people feel welcomed, people feel loved and taken care of, and that they have like somebody there who is a guiding force in what is a very scary business. I don't know why I'm on this rant today. 13 minutes. I'm so sorry. Let's go look at the cast, you guys. Oh, wait. First, I think it's 10 episodes. I feel like that's where we're at right now, guys. Yeah, 10 episodes. I know people have big feelings about this, lots of debates. Being treated unfairly is like the catchphrase of the day. I don't have any problems with it. I think it is what it is. I think they're being smart, cutting these down. I think some of the 12 and 14 arcs were too long. But cutting them down just to cut them down, I'm also not a fan of. Like, you better tighten that story up. So these writers, Rain and Ben, are the same writers as, you guessed it. Wait. Oh, she isn't. Oh, she didn't know. Oh, so this one's, she's different. Theory of Love, Together, Fish Upon the, oh, she's been around a hot minute. Be My Favorite. Oh God, the way I love Be My Favorite. I loved Perfect 10-Liners too. People talk trash about so many of these shows, and it really, I felt like personally offended. I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little offended when people talk down about these shows because I freaking love them. My only issue with Vice Versa was the ending, and I don't blame the show for that. I blame the sponsorship that was forced upon them, but I don't even blame them for that because they took the sponsorship from the Eclipse, so the Eclipse wouldn't have any. So at the end of the day, if it ruined the ending for me, whatevs. Everyone says Together the movie was better than Together the series. I loved Fish Upon the Sky. I enjoyed Theory of Love. It was hard for me. It was hard for me because of the character, not because of the writing. Be My Favorite, I own. I own it. Perfect 10 Liners, I will watch again and again and again. I think it was beautiful storytelling. Sweet Tooth Good Dentist, I felt like something got lost on the cutting room floor. There was a continuity issue with that series. It could have been better, but I saw the bones of better. It wasn't bad though. When people say it was bad, it wasn't bad. It just could have been better. You know what I mean? Y'all, you got me on a day. I can't explain it. I'm just real chatty. All right. Ooh, Club Friday, Theory of Love. Oh, they don't have a lot in there. But Nucci is who I am thinking about. That's my person. If you guys are Not Me lovers, we are watching Not Me currently, my sisters and I, on this channel. So if you want to go back, get ready for this by watching Not Me with us, please do. What? Okay, there. Screen director and writer of Not Me. There it is. The Blue Hour. Oh, Nucci is brilliant. There's so many people I want to work with Nucci. I really want PP to work with Nucci. Oh my God. What a time we would have if PP ever worked with Nucci. They got really close for a while there. I don't know if they maintained that relationship, but she's brilliant. She's another. Okay, I'm gonna calm down. You guys. It's hard for me. I get really excited about this stuff. I just really love creative spaces and well done stuff. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's watch this thing, right? Oh no, it's not. I'm sorry. Don't yell at me. I missed one thing. I forgot about the cast. I don't think there's a lot here. Yeah. I mean, we got our OffGun due. I love that they're all three main role. Got all three. It's going to be it's going to stress me out. Oh, our little AJ. Ooh, I love me some Thor and Emmy. Yo, this cast. I love a small cast too. I like series that feel like everybody's always like wanting all these people. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think you need a ton of people to have a good series. Sorry, got distracted. I don't think you need a ton of people to have a good series. And I like series that feel like a one act play, or they feel like a play, maybe not a one act because it's a series, but it has that kind of play feel to it. And I think it's going to be very intimate, this series, and I think it's going to have that feeling. I talked for 18 minutes. That's bananas. Who let me here doing that? I want to apologize, but I can't. It's who I am. You're here. Either you're new and you're learning, or you've been here a while and you know. Look at him in his undies. Okay, another thing. So Off did a lot of work on his body for this. He has a lot of body. I want to say just more like he is not comfortable showing his body. And Nucci really found ways to challenge them in making them do things in their characters that they typically are afraid to do, which is why I love her as a director, and him being comfortable in his body and showing his body is one of them. And I'm so proud of him because that's not an easy thing to do. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out, that we're going to see a lot of Off, and he worked really hard. He was doing Pilates, which I love because that's my preferred workout is Pilates. Good Lord.
ครับสวัสดีครับคุณเคมองเห็นผมใช่ไหมครับ
เห็นครับ แต่วันนี้ผมขออนุญาตยังไม่เปิดกล้องคุยนะครับ
our little gunny.
เพิ่งมาครั้งแรกใช่ไหมครับ ชื่ออะไรครับน้อง
จีระครับ
พอน้องสั่งเครื่องดื่มเสร็จ หลังจากนั้นน้องก็จะได้การ์ดหมายเลขโต๊ะพี่จะสุ่มลูกค้าที่มาใช้บริการไปนั่งด้วย น้องจะได้คุยกับคนแปลกหน้าที่กำลังเบิร์นเอาท์เหมือนกัน เพื่อที่ต่างฝ่ายต่างช่วยกันบำบัด และรับฟังความทุกข์ของกันและกัน
ลายมือคุณบอกว่าคุณกำลังจะได้งานใหม่เร็วๆนี้แน่นอน แต่มันเป็นงานที่ทุกขลาภมาก เราก็จะนำความวุ่นวายมาให้กับคุณ
Oh, the music.
ตอนที่ผม
Oh, Nucci, I miss you.
ผมก็นั่งฟังบรรยากาศร้าน มองคนนู้นคนนี้บ้าง แต่ผมดันสนใจคนคนหนึ่งขึ้นมาสิ
ต้องการอะไรจากผมไม่ทราบตอบสิวะ
ผมจะให้คุณเป็นมิสเตอร์เค
คืออะไร
ผมไง ก็ผมจะให้คุณมาเป็นตัวแทนเจรจาธุรกิจ
แล้วทำไมคุณไม่ทำเองวะ
ผมไม่ชอบเจอคนดราม่าวุ่นวาย
หรอ
ยก คืนนี้ไปห้องกูปะ
ที่ห้องเนี่ย มีแมวไหม
Whoa. I was not ready for gun. This whole series is gonna stress me out.
อย่างมึงอะนะ ต้องของเลวซาม ต่ำช้า แบดชั่วๆ แบบไอ้ก่ออะใช่เลย
คุณเป็นคนแรกเลยนะ ที่ซื้องานผมอะคุณเห็นอะไรในนั้นนะ
แล้วคุณนะทำไมถึงอยากวาดผมอะ
กูแบบไปก่อได้ใช่ปะคือปกติผมจะบำบัดคนอื่นใช่ปะแต่คนเนี้ยแม่งบำบัดผมวะ
คุณบอกมานะว่าคุณเป็นใครอ่ะ นี่ผมต้องโดนจ้องทำร้ายแบบนี้ไปตลอดเลยเหรอ
ห้ามด่ามาห้ามเห็นใจ ห้ามใจออก แล้วก็ห้ามเถียง
ผมไม่ชอบโดนหักหลัง มันเหี้ย
ถ้าเกิดวันไหน คุณให้ผมทำในสิ่งที่ผมไม่อยากทำ ผมขอแจ้งลาออกล่วงหน้านะครับ
Oh my god. The cinematography. Obsessed. Are you fucking kidding me?
ติดตามชม Burnout Syndrome
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Do you see? I may have talked 18 minutes, but do you see why I was ranting so effusively? Do you understand? This is what I've been waiting for. And I don't even like a lot of toxicity, but I don't care. I will take it for the artistry. It literally swells my heart when I see just so many talented, creative people in the same space. Do you understand the art in this moment? It makes me want to cry. I cannot explain it. It's the music, the everything. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't even know what's going on.
ติดตามชม
Oh my
Burnout
God.
Syndrome
Shut up. Shut up. November 26th. My whole personality. What am I going to do? I start in Terminable today, which I'm going to lose my mind over. I've got Me and Thee coming. Me and Thee looks so good. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Do and Gun?
น้องก็จะได้การ์ดหมายเลขโต๊ะพี่จะสุ่มลูกค้าที่มาใช้บริการไปนั่งด้วย
Hold up.
บอกว่าคุณกำลังจะได้งานใหม่เลยทุกขลาภ
Where was that clip?
มองคนนู้นคนนี้บ้าง
ต้องการอะไรจากผม เอาสิวะ
ผมจะให้คุณเป็นมิสเตอร์เค จะให้คุณมาเป็นตัวแทนเจรจาเจอคนดราม่าวุ่นวาย
หรอ
ยก คืนนี้ไปห้องกูปะ
ที่ห้องเนี่ย มีแมวไหม
They never let Gun be with other dudes. I'm so excited for like, here's the thing. Everybody has their own opinions about where these companies should be, what they should be doing. There's so many people with so many ideas and thoughts and a righteousness about them, right? And I get it. Like on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, you need to be vocal. You need to speak up so that things change. But also, I just come from a different space. My vocal is to encourage change, not to admonish it, not to say, why haven't you changed yet? I'm more of like, hey guys, do you know what would get you more eyes on this? If you thought about this, if you thought about this, this is what we want as an audience. And I'm here to tell you, I've been doing that for a good 5 years at least, where is that how long I had my TikTok? I got my TikTok. I made friends with Shannon. The both of us decided we were just going to start being a different kind of voice in this social media space. I think we're drowned out at this point, but there was a little clip of time where we actually could kind of move the needle and people were listening because it was something different. We were speaking in a way that other people weren't speaking. And our goal was to good cop, bad cop the situation, number one, because I wasn't going to cuss people out. That's just not who I am. But Shannon willed, because that is who she is, right? But also push the envelope on what was being shown to us. Let them know internationally, if you want our eyes to tune into your stuff, these are the things that we're looking for. And I'm telling you, they listened. And it wasn't, we were just talking, right? But it was the groundswell of people who were on board, who were pushing it as well, who really wanted to see changes and were willing to talk about it. They listened. We never would have seen Gun with somebody else 2 years ago. They would never have allowed it. They were so tight with these pairs, right? Being vocal and suggesting change and explaining why it's important, to me, is a little bit different from complaining all the time. I don't know. I just don't think this onslaught of my writing letters demanding you treat my pair better is really effective. I don't think it's effective. I don't think it's working. I think you can advocate in other ways, but I don't how many strongly worded letters and you know, rants about how this company, just the blue company, is treating my pair unfairly. Like, I just don't think it's, I don't know, maybe it'll work. Good on you. I do think you should advocate for people, so I'm not even putting that down. I just think there's a way to do it that gets the ear of these executives, because at the end of the day, it's not about making you feel good about your pair. It's about how are they going to continue as a company to, yes, make money. Companies want to make money. If that's upsetting to people, they're probably not being realistic enough about what this is. And in the midst of that, you can have artistic expression. If you have enough shows that are bringing enough money, it can create space for this. I don't think we could have gotten this 3 years ago. I don't think GMM was a company that would have given a creative voice like Nucci space for this. And you're like, what about Not Me? They had to fight for Not Me. Everyone, I don't know why people have such a hard time understanding. Not Me came right after, the Black Lives Matter protests, and there were protests actively happening in Thailand. When Not Me came out, it was such a risk to put that on such a very public platform. People were getting put in jail for speaking out against the government. I just feel like people do not have enough of a realistic view of what's going on in the business side of things. And so their expectations are aspirational instead of being practical. I said a lot today. I took up 30 minutes. I'm not apologizing. I love Burnout Syndrome. I love OffGun. I love Do. I love Thor and AJ. I love Emmy. I love Nucci. I'm so ready. Okay, bye, guys. Oh, no, I forgot my outro. Wait. Okay, now bye.
I think I need good chat therapy.